This morning Samuel and I are here to dig this little bed of potatoes. Now these have grown across the winter in the greenhouse. As I've mentioned in previous videos, in the goal of trying to achieve potato self-sufficiency, we have to grow some potatoes during winter here in the greenhouse. The early spring crop is growing outside and it's still not going to be ready for at least another 4 weeks. But by growing a little bit here in the greenhouse, we have some potatoes which may carry us through that time, or at least some of that time, depending on how much production we can actually get from these beds. Now, across the years I've tried various methods. I've tried straw bale. I last year tried growing in potato towers. I've also grown in the soil. So this year again I returned to growing in the soil, and I've got a second bed that is coming along. Also, it was planted a month later than this one, so I've staged them a little bit. What I'm interested to see is which method produces the best crop of potatoes for the area that I actually use. I believe it's actually in ground, but today we'll dig this crop and we'll weigh it up and we'll see how it compares to previous years, particularly the towers and the straw bale. A fork is a good way to dig and come well away, Samuel, so we can loosen it up from underneath. No, you're keen to get in there. And we have nice potatoes coming out already. I might put this bucket up here. But let's just...
More.
Yes. Lovely sized potato too. Just lovely.
And that one's got a bit of green on it, but...
Just put it in the bucket.
Nice big clump. I should find something like that. Potatoes. Lots of little ones here.
A few little ones here.
Oh, look how small
But
this one is.
good ones too.
Yeah, I think there's some under there, under your big clump.
More and more. Let's break this up. This ground has dried out a little bit more than I should have allowed it to, making it a little bit harder to dig. Knowing that I was going to dig these, I did let it dry, but perhaps a little bit too dry.
Oh, I'm finding some. Finding some stuff.
There was in here. Nothing yet.
Well, there's one.
Here they come.
They're coming. Oh, mine are coming now too. Let's see what I've got.
Disappearing.
Smash that thing. That curve on there.
Yeah.
What's in the
So watch your fingers.
Oh, there's more. Another curved one.
Our bucket's getting full.
Yeah, I don't mind. Isn't that good?
That's very good.
Yeah, we actually got a crop out of it. Oh, now we got too much.
Look at those potatoes.
They're just beautifully smooth. Let's just thoroughly rip the bed up so we get enough potatoes. We might get a full bucket and a half, perhaps.
Well, that's the one thing when you grow potatoes in the soil and dig them, Samuel,
Yeah.
is you end up cultivating the soil to get them out. And it's ready for the next crop then.
Yeah, and there will be some underneath already.
Looks like you've got most of these.
I was doing some.
Looks like you've dug all the ones up here, Samuel.
I've been doing furrow digging. Oh, there's
few little tiny things.
Yeah, lots of small ones.
Well, that's the crop. We didn't need the second bucket. It just filled this one bucket full. Samuel did a good job of digging one side. I dug most of the other. And there's nice potatoes there. A few small ones, but a lot of nice potatoes that are really going to be good for using in the kitchen. Now, there was just 10 plants that we grew in here.
10?
So
there's more than 10 potatoes.
it's done, I think, fairly well, but we'll go and weigh these up and see how that compares to previous production that we've had using other methods. So weighing in, they are just short of 10 kilos in this bucket. Now, that's not quite as good as a 16 kilo crop that I once got out of this same bed a few years ago, growing in soil like this. But it is still considerably better than the crops that I have produced using straw bale or the potato tails, both which were around about half a bucket, no more than 5 kilos each. So I'm convinced still that growing in the soil is the best place and gives the best crop. So that's probably where I'll be growing my winter potatoes in the future, and I really need to expand the number of beds that I grow because 10 kilos isn't going to go very far. And despite the fact that I've got a second bed there, which will come along in probably another 3 to 4 weeks at the most, it's unlikely that that will be sufficient potatoes to get us through until the next one, but maybe we might just scrape in. Hopefully that's been of interest. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon with another video.